In the summer of 1919, in the capital of the United States, white mobs came for the black neighborhoods of Washington. And for the first time on that scale, the neighborhoods shot back. Men who had just come home from a world war climbed onto the rooftops with their rifles. They did not come down for 4 days. You were taught that the fight for black freedom was patient and quiet and always peaceful. That is not the whole truth. The summer of 1919 was so bloody that the poet and NAACP leader James Weldon Johnson gave it a name that stuck. He called it the Red Summer. More than 24 cities burned. Black veterans who had bled for democracy in France came home to a country that greeted them with rope and fire. In Washington, they decided the terror would stop at their front doors. It began on Saturday, July 19, 1919. For days, the white newspapers of Washington had run inflammatory stories about a supposed black assailant. That night, crowds of white servicemen, sailors, soldiers, and Marines, many still in uniform and fresh from the war, marched into Southwest Washington, a poor and largely black quarter of the city. They carried bats, lead pipes, and boards. They pulled black men off streetcars. They beat people on the sidewalks in the shadow of the Capitol dome. The police, when they arrived at all, arrested the victims. This was not chaos. It was a hunt. But Washington in 1919 was not the city the mob expected. It was home to Howard University, to a proud black middle class, and to thousands of veterans who had just been handed rifles by their own government. When the police would not protect them, Black Washington protected itself. Residents bought every pistol, rifle, and box of cartridges the hardware stores had, until the shelves were empty. They posted riflemen on the rooftops of their own blocks. When cars full of rioters raced through the neighborhoods, they were met with return fire. A 17-year-old named Carrie Johnson fired on men who broke into her family's home. And in the black press, she became a folk hero. The historian Carter G. Woodson, who would later create what became Black History Month, was on those streets and barely escaped a mob that seized and killed a black man in the open. For 4 days, the Capitol was less a riot than a race war. And this time, both sides were armed. For 4 days, the federal government did almost nothing. President Woodrow Wilson finally ordered some 2,000 federal troops into the streets. But it was a heavy summer rain, more than the soldiers, that finally emptied them. When it was over, the official count was around 15 dead. Historians believe the true number may have been 30, 40, or more. What made Washington different was not the violence done to black residents. That was the whole grammar of the Red Summer, from Chicago to Elaine, Arkansas. What made Washington different was that the mob did not get the massacre it came for. That same July, Claude McKay published a sonnet that became the anthem of the season. If we must die, let it not be like hogs. Like men, we will face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. The men on those rooftops are not in most textbooks, but their fingerprints are everywhere. The membership of the NAACP exploded after 1919. The civil rights movement of the next 50 years was forged in that fire. When Carter Woodson launched Negro History Week in 1926, he had already seen how easily a nation could murder people and then agree never to speak of it. Accuracy became the armor. Remembering became the resistance. Sources are in the description. Subscribe so they cannot erase this, and the free reading list is linked below.